Hi everyone, it's Petra and Nelvin again, and we are going to look at some folklores, maybe some creatures or beings that are popular or maybe known in Malaysian and Hungarian folklores. It's like, is it a pig? No. Looks like what? Is he nose and the eye?
Yeah, it is fairly obscure.
So it's all Kish Kudmon.
Kudmon.
Mm-hmm. It is really obscure. Is it a bird?
No.
No? What am I looking at?
It's a coat. Or like a cloak.
I didn't think that way. I was thinking about the
No, I mean you wouldn't if you haven't seen this before. For me, it's fairly obvious.
Now when you see it.
So that's the bit that goes around your neck.
Yes,
and there's like those are the shoulders and the sleeves.
Ooh, is this like the cloak of invisibility? No, okay.
It looks not
like
that magical.
It looks like, oh really? I was gonna say it looks like something that can bring you wealth because you know it's yellow and gold color.
I didn't remember all parts of this story or like all the details, so I listened to it this afternoon, and I realized that it's crazier than I thought or than I remembered.
Okay.
So Kis-Ködmön, which is not to be confused with Kincskereső Kis-Ködmön, which is a novel.
Okay.
So Kis-Ködmön means the little coat or little cloak.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So the story goes that a family who had a beautiful daughter receives a young man who is interested in the girl's hand.
Okay.
And the girl goes downstairs when the boy gets there to fetch some wine from the cellar. And then she sees some stone or something, and her mind wanders off that, oh my god, this guy is here, we're gonna get married, we're gonna have a child, we're gonna buy a lovely new cloak for the child, and then the child will come downstairs here and trip on this massive stone and die, and what am I going to do with the cloak?
Talk about slippery slope.
Yeah, and then she starts crying and she doesn't go upstairs, so the mum comes downstairs to see what's up, then she starts crying when she tells her the story, then the dad goes downstairs and they tell him the story and he starts crying too, and then the young man comes out like, what on earth is going on here? They tell him the story and he starts laughing, and they're like, oh my god, in my whole life I've never met such crazy people as you three, but if and when I do, I will come back here and ask for your daughter's hand. So he goes on a journey, meets crazy people who have their own crazy stories, and he goes, I met 3 crazy people now, I can go back and ask for her hand. And they did, and they had a child, and they bought him a beautiful little cloak, but he didn't die because he tripped on a stone. So happy end.
And the moral of the story is?
The moral of the story is that there are crazy people everywhere. I mean, that's my take of it. But I honestly didn't remember they went that way. But I looked up different sources, and this is definitely the story.
Okay. So the next one is a little bit interesting, and I'll tell you why after.
Just a little bit.
Yes, just a little bit.
It's a bird.
Yes, it is.
With very colourful feathers.
Yes, it is.
That like has do you want me to guess the name of the bird or why it's significant?
You can try. You can think about like what does
Firebird.
it symbolize? Okay, it's firebird. What does it? What do you think it symbolizes?
The diversity of nature. Okay. I don't know.
I don't think people like.
Or
back in
like, is this some sort of similar idea as a phoenix bird?
Yes, in some ways,
like,
yes.
Being reborn or something, or like
the Asian phoenix is a bit different. Yes.
Do tell me about the Asian phoenix.
So honestly, it's not called phoenix. Like to us, this is not really phoenix, but in the Malay folklore,
Like the idea.
yeah, like back in the days, they believe this is what we call a burung cenderawasih. Yeah, so burung cenderawasih is an actual bird. Like
Yeah,
it's
this
an
is
actual
a photo,
bird. Yes.
right? This is not a drawing.
Yes. But back in the days, it's not as it's not seen as often. So then they actually built up kind of like a belief about this bird. What they believe in is because you see, like it's like a bird. It's almost like a peacock, but it has this flowy, feathery tail. So yeah. And what they believe is this is a bird from the Elysium, like from the paradise.
Okay.
Right?
Is it
So
called paradise bird?
it is actually, in English, it's birds of paradise. And what happens is they believe that this kind of bird only comes to land, Earth, when it's going to die. So, yeah. So
That's so sad.
yeah, exactly. So like they only see this bird when it's dead. They've never seen it alive. Yes. So they believe that this bird, burung cenderawasih, lives in heaven and it drinks the dew of the clouds as sustenance.
Okay.
Yes. And it only comes down to earth when it dies. There are different beliefs about this. There are colorful feathers, and when the feather falls onto earth, they become gems. Gemstones.
Oh.
If it's a green feather, it becomes emerald.
I do like that.
If it's like white feather, it becomes pearl and stuff like that. And then when it dies, it is a magical corpse because it does not rot, it does not smell. It will just stay the way it is, and the innards can be used to make into really powerful medicines. And I think the feathers as well, and also for decorations and stuff like that. Of course, as science becomes better and better, it's then realized that it's actually a real bird, but it's not commonly found in populated areas.
Okay.
And when someone
They
finds
hide.
when someone finds it, it's generally dead because they are not
They
usually.
can't spot
Yes.
them, yeah.
But then it's still believed that if you see this bird, it's like a lucky thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it brings you luck and everything. I don't know. I really like the bird. It's really pretty. And I remember when I was really young, I read about it's called the Kisah Burung Cenderawasih. Kisah means kind of like story or the tales of this Cenderawasih bird. And it's just really nice. I really like the sound of the word as well. And it's just really interesting how like folklore really very long ago is just about things, that they try to explain certain phenomena. So it's really cool.
Yeah. I like that. That it sort of relates to science and modern life as well.
Yes.
Na Nelvin, hogy tetszett a videó?
Nagyon tetszett, de nekem a Fucking Tomatoes összes videója tetszik.
Ezek szerint már feliratkoztál?
Hát persze, meg eltesítéseket is kapok, mert rákattintottam a csengőre.
Kövessétek ti is Nelvin jó példáját, és ti sem fogtok lemaradni az új videóinkról.